What's up, everybody? It's your boy Dave. What the hell just happened? Okay. What's up, everyone? What's up, everybody? It's your boy. Are we serious right now? What is? Oh, come on! I don't understand what's happening.
Just move to
What's up, everyone? It's your boy Danny Vega, aka Danny V, and the big four today is film. And what are we going to talk about? We're talking about WandaVision. That's right, episode 1, 2, and 3. Don't forget, this video has spoilers. But before we do that, don't forget to like, subscribe, hit the little bell button for more future videos. Also, don't forget about my sponsor, DJ Venom. That's right, go to his SoundCloud, DJ Venom, and also don't forget his Twitch channel, which is DJ_Venom, and check out all his gameplay. WandaVision. I'm really intrigued right now. Like, I'm a huge fan of Marvel. A lot of people know I'm more Spider-Man than anything, and X-Men, but I stopped reading comic books like a long time ago in a galaxy far, far away. But I know enough to know the difference between the comic books and the MCU. Like, when I go watch them, I have to watch them as two people. I have to watch my comic book self and also as a moviegoer. Sometimes as a comic book, I'm like trashing the film. I'm like, nope, wrong. What? They changed that? What the fuck? Then other times, as a regular moviegoer, I'm like, man, that's a really good movie. Logan, for example, I loved that movie. Man, as a movie, I cried. I legit cried. I'm not crying, you're crying. But anyway, WandaVision. I was like, okay, what are they gonna do with it? Like, in the first 2 episodes is really hunky-dory. Is like, you know, the sitcoms like Dick Van Dyke and, you know, I Dream of Jeannie and, you know, I Love Lucy is like all of that. And then episode 3 is definitely like the Brady Bunch. But I was like, okay, what's happening? Now, there was a lot of Easter eggs, don't get me wrong, like with the commercials and everything else. But here we're gonna go over some things that I think may be super important to what's to come, and also some of my theories. So strap on up, here we go. The big thing that we're all hearing on the internet right now is that how Agnes, the friendly next door neighbor, is actually Agatha Harkness. That's right. They think it's shortened to be Agnes, and the reason being, we have a couple of things. We have one. A giveaway in the comics is that, remember, Agatha was the one that taught Scarlet Witch everything that she knows. And also, in the comic book, their color powers are the same. So maybe I'm thinking that how Agnes is the only one that's like super friendly with Scarlet Witch, I'm pretty sure she has something to do with, like, if she really is Agatha, maybe she taught her different powers or tried to control her chaos energy and trapped everyone in there, because in episode 2 she's always around, she's saying the devil's in the details, maybe a little hint to Mephisto. Episode 3, you see that when she tells Herb to stop, she's like, don't reveal anything to Vision when Vision is asking questions, but we'll get back to that later. The little pendant hat that she has, or it's called a brooch, bro. And it also has like 3 people on there. You can't really see it. This could be the actual Salem witch trials. The reason being is because she does say the actual date of the Salem witch trials in it, and we all know that she survives it. So that could be it, or it could be the Coven. That's right. A lot of people said a bunch of different things, but who knows? So, like, one Easter egg that I saw was Señor Scratchy, the little rabbit. That was the name of Agatha's son in the comic book. His name is Nicholas Scratchy. So Nicholas Scratch first appeared in 1977 Fantastic Four 185, and Señor Scratch could definitely be Nicholas Scratch. It could just, or we know how the MCU likes to change up a lot of things, that can just be an homage to Nicholas Scratch. But Nicholas Scratch was a villain of the Fantastic Four who obviously got beaten, and then Agatha denounced him as her son. Can you imagine that? Yeah, you suck. I'm gonna go with the good guys now. I'm gonna be their nanny for their ultra powerful son. There was a Beekeeper in episode 1. A lot of people were thinking it's AIM because of Aldrich Killian in Iron Man 3. AIM usually wears the whole bee suit, but I don't really think that's where it's going. Now, the reason why I don't think that's what's happening is because you see Geraldine, who's really Monica Rambeau, who's also part of SWORD, that Wanda threw out really quick, and then when we saw the Beekeeper, she rewinded the whole thing.
No.
I really think this is more on the esque of House of M. So a lot of people briefly touched on the House of M, but if you really remember House of M, she created this entire illusion that everybody gets what they want. You know, Magneto's ruling the world, and she, you know, has her family, everything else. It's because she was tired of all the traumatic experiences that were happening, so she created her own reality, which I think that's what's happening here, because she lost Vision, she lost Pietro, she's been through a lot. Civil War, she got blamed for when she took Crossbones and threw him up in the air and it blew up into the building. You know, she's been through a lot of crazy shit. They tried to keep her away. They were saying that she was a threat. Vision was there to protect her, but was to stop her from leaving. So I really do think that this is more House of M-esque, especially in the credits that you see the house. There's a lot of emphasis on the house itself. And Vision is not alive. Obviously, Vision is an illusion, and I do believe that has to go back to one of the comic books, that when it showed not only are her twins not real, they're part of Mephisto, but neither was Vision. Like, that whole thing was just an illusion, and Agatha basically erased her mind from the whole thing. And then even later on, when she finds out what Agatha did, she killed Agatha, which is like a big mind fuck. You know, Agatha erases her memory because of the trauma, just so she could help cope. But then in the House of M, when she's going crazy, she's like, you know what? Be gone. She kind of did like Dr. Manhattan, just dead. So there are a lot of hints that Mephisto could be the real villain, but also when a lot of people were saying that in the intro of episode 2, you see the helmet of the Grim Reaper, that's right, and also a poster when it says anti-A's with the cat, and obviously that's, you know, Agatha Harkness. But then also you see the poster for Wonder Man. Wonder Man is the Grim Reaper's brother, and remember they used Vision's mind to reincarnate Wonder Man. I don't know if they're gonna go that route, but they possibly could. The reason why I say that is because Vision, even if he was just an illusion of Scarlet Witch, I do believe that his consciousness is in her some type of way. And the reason why I say that is because it seems like that's Wanda's logical mind. It seems like Vision is the logical mind of Wanda, not the subconscious parts. Because there are a lot of parts that she's like, I didn't even know I could do that, subconsciously doing things, when Vision is the logical, like, hey, why is this happening? Because every time Vision is like, why is this happening, or whatever, it pulls Wanda into this sense of like coming out of the trance per se. But then when she realizes it, she's like, no, and she erases everything. Hence that cut in episode 3 was absolutely fantastic. I thoroughly enjoyed that. Everything was dark suspense, and then they cut abruptly, and all of a sudden now everything's light and everything's fine again. It was like, whoa, okay, yeah, let's. What was I saying? In episode 2, you hear, Wanda, who's doing this to you? Wanda, who's doing this to you? I don't really think anyone is doing it to her. So either she made a deal with Mephisto to unlock her powers, but then Mephisto may see that, okay, she has more power than possibly imagined and wants to take her chaotic powers, or Mephisto is trying to come back to Earth, maybe through her twins. I love that they went with Billy and Tommy, just like the comic books, but everyone thinks it may lead to Young Avengers in the MCU. I don't really think. I think we're way, like, that's way ahead of time. I think there's more setup to this. The MCU usually changes it up. So usually what happens is if they'll mix up some characters. So I'll give you an example. So in Thor Ragnarok, Hela ends up being Thor's and Loki's oldest sister, when actually in the comic books that she is Loki's daughter. So they changed up a lot of things. That's also like Whiplash in Iron Man 2. Whiplash was just basically a minuscule character in the comics that wasn't really a big deal, but for Iron Man 2 the movie, they legit took Omega Red and Whiplash and put them together and called him Whiplash. That was definitely Omega Red. It was Russian, he had the electric coming out of the whips. I'm telling you, that was Omega Red, and I'm kind of pissed off about it because he is a major villain in X-Men, especially towards Wolverine. So, I mean, yeah, ruined one of my favorites. And they also did that in Guardians of the Galaxy 2. Guardians of the Galaxy 2, they also did with Ego, and then also Star-Lord's dad. Star-Lord's dad is not really a major character in the comic books. You know, we can argue this all day, but he's not really. And then they took Ego, they put them together, and then they came up with Ego as his dad. So, I mean, they kind of changed it up a little bit. Same thing with Thanos and everything else. They changed things up. So I don't think they're going to go verbatim what's going to happen. So here are my theories of where they may go with this. So yes, I do think the House of M, I do think that she's doing it. Now, maybe Agatha is playing boy that cried wolf kind of deal, like, oh my god, oh my god, oh my god, but she's really like the puppet master. Or someone is doing it to Scarlet Witch, and here's what I think. They can do a couple of things to this. So you see in the trailer like the Mind Stone and all this stuff, so maybe she has some of the power in her, which would be different from the comic books. But if we're talking about mind control, Dr.Doom did it in Avengers Disassembled in 2004. Remember, Dr.Doom controls Scarlet Witch, and maybe that could be the introduction of Dr.Doom into the new Fantastic Four coming out. Or the whole Mind Stone thing could go ahead and introduce us into mutants. So one of my favorite stories is when they explained the mutants' backstory, that the celestial beings ended up using some of their DNA into humans, which created the mutation for mutants. I love that story, and that could possibly be now, because apparently SWORD, it stood for Sentient World Observation and Response Department, and they said that maybe they changed it up because of this leaked card or whatever. But I'm telling you, if it's still the sentient part inside of SWORD, okay, it could totally mean she's a celestial being. And also that the whole thing around Wanda is almost like a force field. And who creates magnetic force fields like that? None other than Magneto or her sister Polaris. That's right, Polaris may be in it. We got to see her in The Gifted, why not here? Obviously that's a stretch, I'm reaching like Mr. Fantastic, but hey, who knows? It could be Dr. Doom doing mind control, or it could be Baron Mordo. I know that is so far-fetched right now, but here's why. Doctor Strange and the Multiverse of Madness is supposed to have Scarlet Witch in it. I really do believe that this whole thing, like the House of M, is gonna just open up a whole bunch of different realities. And there can be something messing with somebody's mind, and what else would mess with Scarlet Witch's mind except for sorcery, right? If Mordo is really behind this and getting her to go crazy to create these multiple universes, I think that would be absolutely a great tie-in, but it seems far-fetched right now. It could be Clea. A lot of people think Dottie is either Mephisto or Clea, the Dark Sorceress Supreme, and that could also tie it in to the Multiverse of Madness. But that's still a reach. And another big possibility that no one has talked about yet is that maybe this is not even in the main MCU timeline. Because remember, Captain America ended up going back in time into the parallel universe and put all the stones back. What if this is a different universe with a different Wanda who's just actually more powerful than the Wanda that we have, and she's the one that's creating all this mess? Like I said, it's just too early to tell. I mean, anything could possibly happen right now. Those are my thoughts. That's my rant. I can't wait to see more. Like I said, I think it's still way too early to call, but let me know what you think. Comment below. Let me see your theories and your rants. Those are mine. And like I said, I was reach out. How about that? After you comment, don't forget to like, subscribe, hit the little bell button for more future videos. I love you. Be safe. Talk to you soon.